I never thought it would happen to me. It was supposed to be a quick drive home. I had just finished a late shift at a small diner outside of Houston. It was close to midnight. The roads were quiet, almost too quiet. My phone battery was at 5%, and I remember thinking, I just need to get home. About 20 minutes into the drive, I noticed headlights behind me. At first I didn't think much of it, but every time I switched lanes, they switched too. When I sped up, they stayed right behind me. That's when my chest started to feel tight. I told myself I was overthinking. Then my phone died. The car behind me suddenly turned on its high beams. I couldn't see anything in my mirrors. I panicked and took the next exit, a small, poorly lit road surrounded by trees. I don't even know why I turned there. Maybe I thought they would keep going. They didn't. The headlights followed. That's when their truck rammed the back of my car. Not hard enough to destroy it, but enough to make me stop. My hands were shaking so badly, I could barely unlock my door. Before I could even think, two men were already outside my car. One of them knocked on my window and yelled, "You hit us." I knew that wasn't true, but I cracked the window slightly. That was my mistake. The door was ripped open. Everything after that felt fast and slow. At the same time, I screamed. One of them grabbed my arms. The other covered my mouth. I remembered the smell of gasoline and dirt. They dragged me toward their truck. I kicked as hard as I could, but it felt like I was fighting against concrete walls. They threw me into the back seat.
I'm really scared.
It's okay, almost there.
Did you hear that?
It's just the wind.
And tied my wrists with something rough. Maybe rope, maybe cable. I couldn't see clearly. My eyes were full of tears. The truck drove for what felt like forever. No music, no talking, just the sound of the engine, and my heartbeat pounding in my ears. I tried to memorize every turn. Left, right, bumpy road, gravel. Finally, the truck stopped. They pulled me out and led me into what looked like an abandoned house. Broken windows, no lights inside, just darkness and the smell of dust. They tied me to a chair in the middle of an empty room. One of them said, "Stay quiet, and this will be easier." Easier for who? They stepped outside for a moment. I could hear them arguing. One of them sounded nervous. That's when I realized something. The rope around my wrists wasn't tight enough. They had rushed. My hands were shaking, but I slowly twisted my wrists, ignoring the burning feeling. It took what felt like 10 minutes, but finally one hand slipped free. I didn't think. I ran, barefoot, into the darkness. Branches cut my legs. Rocks stabbed my feet. I didn't care. I could hear them shouting behind me, flashlights flickering through the trees. I ran toward the faint glow of a distant road. When I finally reached it, I stood in the middle of the street, waving my arms. A car stopped. The driver hesitated when he saw me covered in dirt, shaking, crying. "I've been kidnapped," I said. He locked his doors first. Then he called the police. They found the house. Before sunrise, the men were still there. I later found out they had been driving around looking for someone, alone on the road. Just someone, anyone, IMO, VED, to another state a month later. I don't drive at night anymore, and every time headlights stay behind me for too long, I change my route.